Welcome back to another episode of 1 to 10. October 31st, for many people across the world, is and has always been Halloween, a day surrounded by mystery and eerie tales from around the world. But did you know some famous celebrities and politicians have taken their final bow on this spooky day? In today's episode, we'll be exploring the lives of notable figures who passed away on Halloween and the intriguing stories behind their departures. So, let's dive in. Our first notable figure was the first and only female Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, who was assassinated at the age of 66 years old on Halloween morning in 1984. Her death was a political shockwave after ordering a military crackdown on Sikh militants in the Golden Temple during Operation Blue Star. Two of her own Sikh bodyguards, Satwant Singh and Bint Singh, turned on her. On the fateful day, as she was walking through her garden to an interview, Bint shot her at close range with a revolver, followed by Satwant, who fired 30 rounds with a Sten submachine gun. Gandhi collapsed instantly and succumbed to her injuries later that day. This moment of betrayal shook the entire world and led to anti-Sikh riots across India. Bint Singh and Satwant Singh had worked closely with her for years. Bint Singh had once been a trusted bodyguard, and his decision to kill her was driven by religious revenge for Operation Blue Star. Satwant, only 22 at the time, was quickly subdued and later hanged for his role in the assassination. Joseph Papp, a legendary American theater producer and director, died at the age of 70 years in 1991. He was best known for founding the Public Theater in New York and the Free Shakespeare in the Park program. He revisionized modern American theater by introducing diverse casting and bringing works like A Chorus Line to Broadway. Despite his significant professional success, Papp's personal life was marked by his fight with terminal cancer. His death on Halloween feels ironic, as he was a man who celebrated the theatricality of life, often blurring the line between art and reality. At only 35 years of age, William Woodward Jr. met his death at the hands of his wife in 1955. He was a wealthy American banker, famously known for his tragic and scandalous death. He and his wife Anne were part of New York high society. However, on Halloween night in 1955, Anne shot William, mistaking him for a burglar. Their marriage was tumultuous, and reports indicated that they slept in separate bedrooms because of their problems. While Anne claimed it was a tragic accident, society buzzed with gossip, suspecting a darker motive tied to their rocky marriage. Anne's mental health deteriorated after the shooting, and she died in 1975 by suicide, leaving behind a chilling legacy. The story became the inspiration for Truman Capote's unfinished novel, Answered Prayers. Ramon Novarro, a Mexican-American, was murdered in 1968 at the age of 69. He was a leading silent film star who tragically met his end in a brutal murder. Known for roles in films like Ben-Hur, Novarro was beaten to death by two brothers, Paul and Tom Ferguson, on Halloween in 1968. The attackers believed that Novarro had a large sum of money hidden in his home, but they only managed to steal $20. Novarro's death shocked Hollywood, not only for its gruesomeness, but also because it brought to light hidden aspects of his personal life. The media sensationalized the case, focusing on his sexuality, which at the time was a subject of scandal. At only 24 years old, Greg Moore died from a car accident. He was a talented Canadian racing driver who tragically died during the Marlboro 500 in California. On Halloween 1999, Greg Moore lost control of his car at 220 miles per hour, hitting a wall with tremendous force. Despite the immediate medical attention, he succumbed to head and internal injuries. Greg Moore's potential was widely recognized, and he was slated to be CART's next big star. The crash happened due to a wet spot on the track, and his death shook the racing world. Many fans and racers mourned the loss of such a promising talent. Charles Taze Russell died in 1916 at the age of 64. He was the founder of what became known as Jehovah's Witnesses and died on Halloween in 1916 while on a preaching tour. He suffered from various health issues, including cystitis, which eventually led to his death aboard a train. Russell was a polarizing figure, known for his prophetic interpretations of the Bible. His death was seen by some of his followers as a fulfillment of his apocalyptic predictions. Federico Fellini, one of the greatest filmmakers in cinema history, passed away on Halloween at the age of 73 years after suffering a stroke. Famous for works like Eight and a Half, Fellini's imaginative, often surreal style made him an iconic figure in the film world. Just the day before he fell into a coma, Fellini had received an honorary Oscar for Lifetime Achievement. His death felt symbolic, almost as if he had orchestrated his exit on a day that so deeply mirrors his love for the whimsical and the fantastical. At only 23 years old, River Phoenix died from a drug overdose in 1993. He was a rising star in Hollywood who left fans and colleagues devastated. Phoenix collapsed outside the Viper Room, a famous nightclub owned by Johnny Depp, on Halloween night in 1993. Despite attempts to revive him, Phoenix died from acute multiple drug intoxication. Known for his roles in Stand By Me and My Own Private Idaho, Phoenix was seen as one of the most promising actors of his generation. His death became a cautionary tale of the pressures of fame and the perils of substance abuse. The legendary Sean Connery, best known as the original James Bond, passed away peacefully in his sleep on Halloween in 2020. Connery's portrayal of Bond made him a global icon, but he also starred in classics like The Untouchables and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Connery had retired from acting in 2006, and though he was living quietly in the Bahamas, his death sparked tributes from around the world, with fans remembering his contributions to film and his unmistakable charisma. And finally, the most famous Halloween death, that of Harry Houdini, the world's greatest magician, who was Hungarian-American and died at the age of 52 years in 1926. A week prior, while performing in Montreal, Houdini was punched in the stomach by a college student testing his strength. Unknown to him, Houdini already had appendicitis, and the blows worsened his condition. Despite the intense pain, Houdini continued performing for days until he finally collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital, where he died of peritonitis on Halloween. Houdini's death has become legendary, with some speculating that he was part of a supernatural curse. His life was filled with escape stunts that defied logic, making his untimely death all the more ironic. And the bonus for this episode is that of the death of the Indian magician Chanchal Lahiri. Although the magician did not die on Halloween, he died attempting to recreate one of Houdini's famous underwater escape acts in 2019. Lahiri was lowered into the Hooghly River, bound with chains and ropes. However, unlike Houdini, he never resurfaced, and his body was later recovered downstream. The tragic accident highlights the perils of attempting such daring stunts. These figures, each remarkable in their own right, left an indelible mark on the world before their untimely death. Their person on Halloween is only added to the mystic and fascination that surrounds their lives and legacies.